Hello. Hey, I'm recording this a little bit later than usual, so I'm predicting I'm going to get interrupted by somebody coming in, but who knows? Interrupted, not just like my son coming in to get something and I get say a quick wave. So I might have to tell someone, hey, I'm recording. Who knows though? Nobody comes to see me, but maybe today will be the day. I just have that feeling, when you get a feeling sometimes. Today, CNN 10 has only one story, and that is about the Mariana Trench. I think we've talked about it before, but I'm sure most people would, if I say Mariana Trench, you would think deepest place on Earth. It's about 7 miles down. I'll show you a map of where it's located. You see that question mark? You see my cursor? That's where the Mariana Trench is located. So that's the only story today. Let's get rid of the map. Actually, probably better if you don't see me, right? Let's get rid of that. Get rid of my face. Nah, sorry. You're going to see me for a little bit longer here. But I think this will be a little shorter than normal because it is literally like one story, and it's all about the people that dive down there. So a couple quick stats that I wrote down as I watched. Fewer than 25 people have ever been to the like absolute bottom of the earth. The latest thing to go down there is a little ship. What do they call it? Submersible, I think. Something. It's a submarine, but it's like super strong. It's called Challenger Deep, and it can withstand just so much pressure. You can imagine how much pressure is on that little ship as it dives deeper. But how long do you think it takes to get down to the bottom of the earth and back? Like if you just went down and then went right back up, like didn't even stay down there. It takes 4.5 hours to get down there. And then it takes 3.5 hours to come back. And I'm not sure, they don't talk about this, but if anybody knows scuba divers or if you've scuba dived yourself, scuba dove, if you've scuba dived yourself, there's this thing called the bends where if you go down too fast, I know if you come up too fast, like if you've been scuba diving, so we're not talking 7 miles down, we're talking like maybe 300, 400 feet down. But then you come up too quickly, you can get the bends and it can actually kill people. It has something to do with the oxygen in your bloodstream, something like that. I know that if you ever go scuba diving, I'm sure they'll tell you in a class beforehand, but you need to come up slowly. So I think the same is true for them, but it's 4.5 hours down, 3.5 hours up. And they usually spend 3 to 5 hours down at the deepest parts of the ocean. I noticed there was a little bit of beef between ocean people and space people. The guy that gets interviewed, Carl interviews him, and he asks, "Hey, why do you think so much money is put into the International Space Station, but there's not as much funding for ocean discovery?" And you can tell he's a little bit like, "Yeah, you look out," and he calls it the void of space. When there's a void of something, void, VOID, it's basically nothing there. It's like, yeah, I don't know. When we look up in the void of space, we kind of like it or whatever. We can see it. But he does mention something about all the carbon that's in the air. And he says that maybe the deepest parts of the ocean will hold the key to getting rid of all the carbon that's in our air and causing our environment to warm up. And it made me think of the main company that was, remember, harvesting that seaweed, that kelp, and they were going to, I guess the kelp eats carbon quicker than anything on Earth. And then they wanted to bury the kelp deep in the ocean. Do you remember that one? That was, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago we watched that. But maybe. I mean, he said there are tons of creatures down there that we've never seen before. So it does interest me a little bit. But I think, most kids, a lot of kids growing up, they think of becoming astronauts and, that kind of thing. I think a lot of kids go through that phase. They go through the dinosaur phase. They love dinosaurs. Then they love space. But I don't think many people go through the hey, I love diving into the ocean kind of thing. Maybe we need more awareness for that. I don't know, but I can see why the ocean people like, hey, I'm really passionate about this, but there aren't little kids dressing up as what I don't know, oceanographers, I think is what they call them, but yeah, ocean astronauts or something like that. I mean, the guy was just wearing a shirt like mine. It was just all white, a collared shirt. So maybe they need to raise awareness, have a campaign like, hey, go out to Halloween as one of us. I don't think it would work that well, but the spacesuit, maybe they need better suits, even if there's no function to them. Just like dress up, kind of cool, and then maybe it will raise awareness, and people will stop being astronauts for Halloween. Were you ever an astronaut when you went Halloween as a child? Let us know. Okay, in the comments. Did you ever love dinosaurs? I think I did. I did, and I love space too. I still love it, but I loved it. Yeah, that's it, I think, today. So a little bit shorter than normal. Only one story today. Not much to talk about. Stay until the end though. Watch that montage, with the music. Kind of it sometimes gives me chills when I watch that stuff, but it's probably just me. See ya.